All right. We've started this podcast 3 times, but this is the one. And welcome back to episode 4 of the Grid City Press podcast. I'm your host, Charlie, with my co-hosts here,
Oliver,
Harper, and Ethan.
Oh, man, it's good to be back. All 4 of the fellas back at the round table for episode 4. How you boys doing? Maybe we could start the episode with going around saying one fun thing you did this week, and yeah.
Went to a lot of sports games this week, so that's always fun. Got to cover a lot of wins this week, so I'm just excited and happy.
That's awesome. This week, it was great. I love that all the sports are in session. Some are ending, some are starting. We have so many sports going on right now. It was Parents' Weekend. The whole entire Salt Lake City area was just popping this weekend, and it's my favorite day of the week. I got my chocolate milk, and we're ready to roll.
We are ready to roll, and like Harper said, we do have a lot of wins, maybe a few losses, but to cover later in the episode. But we got a lot to break down. So thanks for listening. We'll get to Ethan in a sec, but I guess my favorite thing, played 9 this morning. Out on the links, shot a 54. So take that as you will. Over to Ethan.
I'm having a great week. I love, like Oliver said, that all the sports are in session. I mean, think about it. If RSL was still in the playoffs, we'd literally have everything going. Utah basketball, football, Mammoth, Jazz, and RSL will be going. But,
yeah.
Hey, I mean, we got to go to a lot of games, see a lot of games, Utah football and Mammoth on Saturday. So it was a packed week.
Yeah, great week. Before we hop into the sports, which we will start with Jazz, followed by Mammoth, then Utah football / basketball, and then ending with RSL, we have an ad read. Oliver, take it away.
Guys, this episode is brought to you by Haley Yard Care. Is your yard looking overgrown or just needs a fresh start? Yeah, we've all been there, but that is where Haley Yard Care comes in. Haley Yard Care will get your lawn and yard looking just right. Haley Yard Care's team is local, friendly, and reliable. They do it right, guaranteed. Visit Haley Yard Care on Instagram and Google or call 801-828-8234 today.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Feels good to get our first ad read. Anyway.
Yeah, thank you, Haley Yard Care.
We're going to jump right into the Utah Jazz, carried by Harper.
Yeah, welcome to the Utah Jazz segment of the Grid City Press, episode 4. Good week for the Utah Jazz. They go 1-1 to start the season. They opened up the season beating the Clippers 129-108. Pretty impressive performance against a veteran squad with the Clippers. Kessler goes 22-9-4 with 28 minutes, 4 blocks, and 2 steals. Keontae George 16-2-9 with 29 minutes. And Sensabaugh 24-2 on 22 minutes, shot 53% from the field and 42% from 3. I just want to bounce it to you guys. How did you guys feel about that opening game? It was a really exciting one. What do you guys think?
Obviously big statement win against the Clippers. Clippers were fully loaded. I don't know how many times Kawhi Leonard has started the season for the Clippers. But yeah, good to see the Jazz just get right up on their feet there. Obviously the momentum was a lot different than last year with a little tanking involved. But yeah, it seems like everyone got a piece of the pie. Lots of players in double figures and just overall great game. Didn't get to watch it live, but went and watched the highlights. And I think this season there's going to be some bright spots to look forward to.
Yeah, I'd say a really solid start. Really enjoyed keeping up with this game just to see our team come out on top. And I have to give some credit to Sasha, who really got his predictions right this week.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out Sasha. I'm glad we're not starting out 0-2. I think it's a good look for us. I'm very happy with Will Hardy and his decisions on the starting squad. I think there could be a couple changes on that. We'll get into that later. But I think even, our bench players, sixth man, looked great. So I loved everybody.
Yeah, Jazz never trailed in that game, led by as much as 37. So an impressive start to the season for sure for this young Utah Jazz team. And then we go on the road to Sacramento in our second game, lose kind of a heartbreaker, 104-105, lost on a last-second shot from Sabonis. Kind of a questionable foul call there at the end, and Walker Kessler couldn't secure the rebound to win us the game. But Markkanen had 33, 4, and 1 on 36 minutes, shot 13 threes, only made 4 of them, but it was cool to see Markkanen get that many threes. And then Keontae George, 18, 2, and 10. So he had a double-double with assists, played 33 minutes. And then Bryce Sensabaugh, 15, 4, and 1 on 22 minutes, shot 54% from the field, and again, 42% from 3. So thoughts on that game? I know it was kind of a heartbreaker. I would love to see the Jazz go up 2-0. It would have been a great start to the season. But it's a really good Kings team there. And we fought to the end, so.
We sure did. Yeah, that's a great Kings team, and I think we definitely don't need to hang our heads too much. I definitely was like, oh, 2-0 sounds amazing, but then again, we're coming from a horrible season last year, so I feel like just having everyone healthy, putting up a fight that goes end to end. I mean, it was a really entertaining game. Like, that game was back and forth the entire second half, with the Kings coming out on top. But yeah, Keontae, great moments from him, great moments from Sensabaugh. Little lackluster from Walker. I know he was in foul trouble, but 3 points from him. It's going to be hard to win games if he only puts up 3 points.
Unfortunately, we still do have minute restriction on Ace Bailey, so we did get to see a little bit of him. I'm hoping that kind of ramps up more towards after that passes. I'm hoping he's good. But
yeah, I think Ace Bailey, we haven't really got to see enough of him, and I'm honestly okay with him taking a back seat this season if our guys can stay healthy and he can kind of be put under their wing a little bit. But if injuries come up, I think he'll definitely shine a little bit more. But right now, I think it's just Will Hardy's job to find where he fits in with this lineup regarding everyone's healthy. So,
yeah,
especially with Taylor Hendricks coming back, there's a lot of guys. And Isaiah Collier's still not back, so just something to keep in mind.
he did have a great preseason, but I do agree with that. Putting him under the wing, and when he gets his opportunity, he shines and takes advantage of it.
Yeah, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on this. We had a chance at the end of the game to win the game on our last second shot. We were only down, what was it, 1, I think? Yeah, 1. So any shot would have won the game for us. Inbounds to Keontae George, and he takes a tough turnaround J to end the game. It looked like Lowry was open at the top, but I couldn't find him, unfortunately. So what do you guys think about that last second shot?
I think Flip struggled to get the ball in. I think the ref counted to about 4 seconds. I would have liked to see a timeout there. I just feel like the play kind of just got jumbled. Flip gets the ball in. Keontae takes a shot. Air balls a game winner. I mean, it's a tough step back. I don't think many people in the league are making that shot. But, and then Flip and Lowry get boxed out. Really well done from the Kings there to not allow us to get a second shot because we had time. Once that ball went up in the air, there was about 2 seconds left. Just unfortunate. Harper and I have talked about this. Keontae likes to get in these moments where he likes to play hero ball and want to be that guy, and there's nothing wrong with that until you start making poor shots, stop skipping the passes. So I think it's just something that will come over time with maturity. But Keontae looked good. 18, had a great block on former Jazzman Drew Eubanks. Eubanks looked pretty bad. Anyway, just good moments. Obviously, at the end there, what are you going to do?
Yeah, there's one common theme that I seem to see with Keontae, and that's he's really good at sharing the ball first half. Like you see, he's coming out, he's distributing the ball to players, and you can see it. He's got 10 assists in this most recent game, 9 assists in the first game. But then for some reason, the second half rolls around and he feels like he needs to shoot the ball more. And I don't mind players coming in and wanting to score the ball. Obviously, we watched Donovan Mitchell here for a lot of years, and he was someone who was always, fighting for a shot. The problem is Keontae is really inefficient. I think he had 3 attempts this last game. He shot 1 for 7. So when you're shooting that many 3 balls and you're not making it, I have a problem, validating George getting that many attempts. Especially, I mean, he's playing 29 minutes the first game, 33 the second game. I don't know. There's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to justify him getting that many shots and minutes if we're just going to be taking, bad attempts. I don't know. A great distributor when he's playing like that, but when he's not, it's just off.
I noticed that too for a couple games I went to last season. He'd take a lot of threes, and even if not making them, he'd still feel like he's hot and just keep taking them. Like you said, I don't hate it. I just feel like maybe after a couple attempts, it's like you got to find another way to get hot and get back in the game because he just keep chucking up shots.
Yeah, and the good thing is Isaiah Collier does come back this next week. It'll be interesting to see what Will Hardy does with the lineup because obviously Collier started a majority of games last year to end the season. And I just think Isaiah Collier is a natural distributor. Obviously, we've talked about Isaiah Collier's shooting ability and his struggles shooting the 3 ball and just shooting in general, honestly. But I think the difference between Collier and Keontae George is I think Isaiah Collier looks to pass the ball first, whereas
100%.
sometimes Keontae can get into a point where he's like, okay, I can just try to do everything. But I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see. I want to hear what you guys think starting Keontae versus Collier. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. After seeing last year, I kind of began to think that Keontae was maybe a better role player off the bench, and I thought he actually really succeeded in that last year. However, with obviously Isaiah Collier out right now, he's had to take that role, and I just think that did I say the wrong name?
No, it's just funny.
Okay. Anyways, I think that Keontae's played well. I think getting these 18 points last game, I think he's really strong, and I think both are really well-rounded players, and I'm excited for Collier to be back.
Yeah, I just think the triangle of Collier, Keontae, and Walter Clayton,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
It's a great trio.
I'd like to pose a question, and I was talking about this during the last second shot. If you want one player to take that shot, 5 seconds left, fate of the universe on the line, just kidding. But yeah, 5 seconds left, down one. Who do you want with the ball? Because personally, I said I want Lowry with the ball first. Obviously, Lowry had 33 points, so that might have been some recency bias, but I think Lowry at 7 feet can obviously can make a little bit more space than Keontae can, and Keontae's just not that type of player to create like a step back J like that. So yeah, I say Lowry, and then I think Keontae, and then sleeper pick Walter Clayton. I just think Walter has the lights aren't too bright for him ever. He's a 5-year out of college that just won a national championship. I don't think he's scared to take a shot. I don't think he's scared to make the right shot. But yeah, I just want to hear who you guys would want with the ball in their hands to 5 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, it has to be Lauri Markkanen. I mean, that dude was shooting 50% from the field at the time. 33 points, I said. So, I mean, you got to give the ball to the guy with the hot hand. Only other guy I'd probably want it would be Bryce Sensabaugh. I mean, he was shooting 54% from the field, 42% from three. So, I mean, I just think in those type of situations, you just got to try to give it to your best shooter. I don't know what the play call was off of that inbounds,
Yeah.
but I mean, getting it to a guy like Keontae, who's like 6 foot something, he's not really that big, and then having him just turn around and shoot it, I don't think that's what was drawn up. But yeah, if you can get just a guy open off just a catch and shoot, whether it's Markkanen or Sensabaugh or even Keontae George, I would like to see that. But yeah, Markkanen and Sensabaugh are the two guys that I would like to see take a last shot.
I think I would have rather even had Keontae pass the ball in
100%.
instead of Filipowski, just because. Also, I think it's really cool to see Lowry, Kyle, and Walker all playing. They're all 7 foot, so it's a big lineup, and I think it's important to know that Lauri Markkanen is the guy this year, 100%, and if he stays healthy, we're going to win games, and it's really exciting to watch.
I don't really have anything different to add there. I think you guys summed it up pretty well. I do agree with Walter Clayton there, and I mean, you guys said Bryce Sensabaugh and Lauri Markkanen. Those are 100% the first picks. I do like the Walter Clayton pick too, though. Like you said, he won a national championship. Moments aren't too big for him, and I think those are the kind of shots I want to see him taking as he's in competition with Isaiah Collier for that guard position. A lot of people said that we should have gotten rid of Markkanen earlier because that was his best season and his stock was at the highest. I disagree. I think this is a great time to keep him, and he's going to be great for us moving forward with these young guys, helping them have long careers. Now, obviously, he's not a vet, but just, helping develop.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think just based off these last 2 games, it looks like Lauri Markkanen's back to where he was a couple of seasons ago, obviously very early on, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, the only issue with Lauri Markkanen is that contract. We're paying him a lot of money. So if we're paying him that much money, he's got to start producing for us. It looks like he's doing it. So that's a good sign. But yeah, going back to the Keontae George versus Collier thing, when Collier comes back in, it's obviously going to shift a lot of minutes. We saw Svi Mikhailuk averaging 24 minutes over the past 2 games, which is kind of crazy. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Collier comes in, because obviously this guy is going to be getting close to probably 25 minutes a game, I would have to assume, whether he's starting or coming off the bench. So I don't know. Svi, obviously 24 minutes, averaging 9 points a game. He's shooting well. This is the type of guy, though, I'd like to see coming off the bench. He's taking about 4 shots a game. I don't see why you can't be taking 4 shots with 15 minutes coming off the bench. Obviously a 3-and-D type of guy. But yeah, what do you guys think when we got these players coming in like Collier? It's going to rumble some minutes in the lineup. So what do you guys think with a guy like Svi Mikhailuk?
Yeah, I think Svi's minutes will get diminished heavily personally, just because Svi's also never really been a starter. It is true to your point. Like, I don't know, maybe they see something in him, or maybe he's great defensively. But I totally think Isaiah Collier will be taking a lot more minutes just because of how well he was playing towards the end of the season last year.
I just want to ask, is it a stupid question to ask to put Collier and Keontae in different positions? Like Isaiah Collier at the guard position and maybe Keontae at
The 2 guard, I think they have experimented with that before, I think.
Yeah.
because then we can maybe open up minutes to have Collier and Keontae at the same time, and then put Walter Clayton in for Collier a couple minutes.
You could even do Isaiah and Sensabaugh, and then Walker, Kyle, and Lowry.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Going back to Harper's question real quick. Yeah, Svi, obviously he's an outlier on the starting lineup with that, and I think with Isaiah Collier, a lot of things are going to change. But it's also like obviously Sensabaugh's been playing super well, and I think Will Hardy just wants Sensabaugh to take on that 6th-man role. I know we want him in the starting lineup, but I just with Svi starting, Svi played some great D, knocked down a 3 or 2 against the Kings, but I don't know. I just feel like Isaiah Collier is just going to come in and take. I think he's just going to take Svi's starting job, but that's just my take.
So you think it's going to be Keontae and Collier playing with each other? Is that what you're saying?
Or just at different positions so you can have more minutes for Walter Clayton.
Yeah, but
I'm
they're
saying
playing
I'm
like on the
playing
field,
along
on the court together.
along with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why
Is that what
not?
you think?
Honestly, I didn't fall.
Are we too maybe short-handed on defense there if we have both of them at the same time on that?
I don't know.
I don't want 3 7-footers.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree. I'm not a big fan of small backcourts personally. In my opinion, it would be you'd want to have one of those guys coming off the bench because you always want to have at least some sort of facilitator on the court at all times. So splitting those guys up is probably the best decision you can make. Personally, I was going to ask you guys this. Let's just talk about our ideal starting rosters. With Isaiah Collier back, I want to still say I think it should be Collier, Sensabaugh, whether it's Bailey who's starting. He's sick, obviously, but I think it should be Collier, Sensabaugh, Flip, Kessler, and Markkanen. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I personally don't think Ace will probably start most of the season unless he really takes over a big role and takes either Bryce or Collier. But I personally really like Kyle, Walker, and Lowry starting just because they bring such a large presence on defense.
I agree.
And like that, what a great. And I think another important question is to ask is Kessler going to be able to stay consistent this season based on only 2 games? So there's really not a lot to base off of.
Yeah, I forget Filipowski's first name is Kyle. I'm like, who's Kyle? Yeah, I think that lineup's great, and Harper made up a great point. If we start Sensabaugh and put Keontae at the bench, I think both those guys can play a good 6-man role. But, yeah, if Collier is as consistent as he was to end last year's season, I think he's definitely solidified a spot in the starting lineup, and I think everyone knows that.
You have a great point on Kyle, Markkanen, and Kessler on defense there because they both are great in the paint. Defensively, they're all really tall, so I think it's a great 3 players to have. I think them, but I do like Sensabaugh as well. Is he better off the bench? I don't know. Well, I think we'll have to experiment seeing him at the starting lineup. So I'm gonna go Collier, Sensabaugh, and then I'll just say
Those
that.
3 guys.
The 3 towers.
Yeah. You guys talked about the defensive presence that those 3 bring. They're calling them the Wasatch Front, which I like that nickname.
I like that.
But yeah, I honestly think they honestly bring a better offensive production. It's crazy how we can have. I mean, we obviously saw Walker Kessler take 2 threes in the first game. He nailed both of them. If we can get to a point where we have 3 7-footers able to stretch the floor and take threes, I mean, there isn't really another team other than maybe the Rockets who's doing that in the league right now, and that would be huge. So I really like keeping that 3 together: Filipowski, Markkanen, and Kessler. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
It's just huge.
I know. That's a great actually comparison to the Rockets with Sengun, Steven Adams, and
Kevin
Durant.
But really,
They did
Steven
a
Adams
massive
can't even
lineup.
shoot.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
That, though.
And he doesn't shoot. Like
But-
watching he doesn't.
But yeah, and if let's say you compare Steven Adams to Walker. Steven Adams obviously a little more physical presence. Walker can take the 3. I guess we have to compare Kevin Durant to Lowry just because of skill wise. But
Yeah, definitely.
And then obviously
Sengun.
Flip can't move like Sengun. Unfortunately, Sengun is one of the best, most underrated players in the NBA, in my opinion.
He's gonna have a great
100%.
He's so good, and
He
he
is
moves
really
so
good.
slow, but he's just so much more effective than Jokic moving wise. Anyway, we're going on too much about the Rockets.
I feel like we're a lot more efficient in the field than we are on 3 points right now. With those 7-footers, like Marketing taking a lot more 2-pointers from inside the paint, mid-range shots.
Yeah. And I will say we did not shoot the 3-ball very well against the Kings. I don't know if you can pull up the 3-point percentage for the team maybe against the Kings. I think we maybe shot 30%.
31%.
Yeah, 30%. And that's really low. So on an off shooting night to only be 1 point off from the Kings, I mean, that's crazy. I talked about how Markkanen shot 14 threes. I mean, a 7-footer taking 14 threes in a game is crazy.
Kessler
he only
didn't
made
take
4
any this time.
Yeah, he didn't take any. He
Kessler
didn't really
only
get a
took-
lot of shots. Really.
Kess-
One shot.
Yeah.
Hey, but guys, Kessler still hasn't missed in this season.
He was 1 for 1.
He's 1 for 1.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you know what? We talk about how like the 3-point having a 3-point game in the NBA is important. When we're shooting like 30% from the field, we need to be giving our 3-point shooters more minutes. Like I don't know why we're not. Obviously, Lauri Markkanen can shoot it efficiently. But when you got guys like George, what would he shoot? 1 for 7?
Keontae?
Oh, yeah. He was
Keontae?
1 for 6.
1 for 6. So it's
not
like,
good.
I don't know. We got to be letting our shooters like Svi and Sensabaugh take more of those shots, I think. Just be more efficient. I don't know. That's just my opinion
It
personally.
didn't seem like we were getting too many shots, and the threes really weren't falling for the Kings game, other than Sensabaugh and Lowry had the most threes. But
Yeah, and I think Sensabaugh, he really wasn't shooting that efficient from 3.
3 for 7.
Yeah, no, he was, but up until like maybe the fourth quarter, I think he had only
kinda
made like
goes to-
1. He had like 2 threes or maybe 3 threes in the fourth that boosted his efficiency up a little bit. But yeah, the team really wasn't playing that well. Sensabaugh only got what did I say 22 minutes opposed to Keontae's 33. A little interesting. I don't have a big problem with that necessarily, but I think Sensabaugh should be getting at least 25 minutes a game. I
Get
don't.
this guy a Sensabaugh jersey, man.
No, honestly though,
I love Sensabaugh.
but only 22 minutes in the first 2 games. I don't know why he's. I mean, we talked about Svi getting 24.
Yeah.
How do you justify a guy who's shooting 42% from 3, 54% from the field, and he's only getting 22 minutes? I don't know. Weird for me. It's just interesting, but
what a breakout player he's been, and I can't
I
wait
know.
to watch him for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
he just needs more minutes, honestly. So whether that's coming off the bench or not.
That's true.
Yeah, Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, just one last note before we get into the upcoming schedule for the Jazz. I feel like it was super refreshing, regardless the outcome, to the Jazz battle back and forth, because I'll admit with Harper, like middle second half, I did feel a little doubtful about us even pulling within a one-score game. But we returned threes with the Kings for like 3 straight minutes. It was just 3, 3,
that was
3.
awesome.
And seeing the emotion on the bench, obviously Lowry with 30 points, he wants to win that game. But seeing everyone go back to the bench, just seeing emotion that they want to win, and that, I don't know, it just looked good. It just looked refreshing to see a team that wanted to win, felt emotional, whether they're down 2, up 2. It was just good. And I think we have a long season ahead. Regardless of roster changes, I think Will Hardy is really going to do a good job at keeping this group together, sticking together, obviously working a lot off the court. But yeah, I think exciting things to come.
And how great of a coach is Hardy when he's not getting held back by tanking? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, we've gotten to see in these first 2 games what kind of coach he really is when he's able to have full reins. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where these next 80 games take us. And, obviously this roster stuff will figure itself out as games progress. But, we really do have something special here brewing in Utah, I think. So it's exciting to watch.
I do. I said this last episode. I do like that there's a lot of competition in the lineup, a lot of players competing for their spots, and I think that makes us a better team overall. So I think our starting lineup is going to switch a lot this season, and Will Hardy's going to take this opportunity to experiment with a lot of people, because we have a lot of players that can play the same position. Like we said, Walter Clayton, Isaiah Collier, Keontae George. So I like that about Will Hardy's coaching.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
Your spot's not 100% guaranteed, and that makes people say, "Hey, people aren't sitting here like, oh, I'm starting this game. I don't have to push for it," or "I'm not starting this game. I don't have to push for anything."
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lowry just you can just see him blossoming compared to last year when he was out with like fingernail injuries because of tanking. He just looks so much happier to be out there and
I
putting
agree.
up 30 without any restrictions. Because I mean,
There's
who
a-
knows
there's a-
how the tanking really works? But obviously last year we didn't see Lowry a lot at the end of the season due to some ghost
weird
injuries. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just jump right into upcoming schedule this week. Monday, October 27th, the Jazz host the Phoenix Suns, which 3 of us will be at that game.
Actually, we just got Ethan to take it in, Sasha. So
Wow, this is great news.
All
We will
of
be
Good
at the
City
Jazz
Press.
game.
shout out to Lily for that.
Jazz
Thank you, Lily.
Jazz host the Suns. Suns are 1-2 on the season. This is a 7 p.m. tip-off. You can follow it on Jazz Plus. All these games will be on Jazz Plus because we do not have a lot of nationally televised games.
I think
Going
2, right?
Yeah, going into Wednesday, October 29th, we host the Trailblazers. So a little home stretch. Trailblazers, they're actually looking good this season. They're only 1-1, but the Belgian Kamara, along with Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant, obviously.
They just beat the Warriors, right?
Yeah, so those are gonna be two. Those are gonna be two.
I don't think they did.
They did. They did. The Blazers beat the.
Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, their coach just got arrested by the FBI, so.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Anyway,
Who was the other player that got arrested too?
Oh, Terry Rozier on the Heat. And then going into Friday on Halloween, throwback to when Derrick Rose dropped 50 on the Jazz on Halloween, we go to Phoenix for our first NBA Cup game. The NBA Cup court was also revealed for the Jazz this year, if you guys saw.
Good.
Had a little grid on there. You guys see that?
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
cool.
shout out Grid City. And, and then to finish the week, next Sunday, November 2nd, with a 4 p.m. tip, we play the Hornets in Charlotte.
Sweet. And maybe before we end this segment, let's just go around and for the next 3 games, we got Phoenix, Portland, and Phoenix again. Let's just hear what we think record prediction for the week.
Seeing what we've seen, I know it's a small scale these last 2 games. I think we should go 3-0, and I think we should beat Hornets on Sunday as well. I just don't see us losing a game this week. I think the Suns are still figuring everything out without Kevin Durant. Devin Booker's obviously still the guy there, and he has for the last 35 years.
Jalen Green also is still hurt right now.
Exactly.
With that hamstring now, and Mark Williams. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think we win all 4 games this week. But if you guys disagree, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think we definitely could. I'll just say 3-1 because I don't know. Maybe Phoenix we lose on the away game, but I'll go 3-1. That should be the expectation. We should go in there and try to steal some wins this week.
Yeah, it is hard to beat a team twice.
It is, yeah.
In a week, so
Yeah.
I can see 3-1 happening.
I think we can. I think we're going to do a really good job on these games.
I think the Trailblazers will, or not the Trailblazers, the Suns twice will be an interesting thing for me to see. So I'm gonna go 3-1 as well, but I think we're gonna win away rather than home.
Okay, I like that. NBA Cup should be fun to watch them. Always like seeing the courts. So yeah.
Would you rather win that NBA Cup game or the regular season game?
NBA Cup game for sure.
NBA Cup. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see the center matchups. Obviously, none of them have like an all-star center necessarily on these teams. Suns still trying to figure out the Common Malawach situation there, their top 10 draft pick, along with Mark Williams being hurt, like Oliver said.
That's crazy.
And Trailblazers,
Dookies.
Kamara is a very physical center, so it'll be interesting to see how Walker matches up against him. And the
Big Clifford.
And the Hornets, I don't even know who's playing center for the Hornets this year, to be honest.
Oh, man, I knew it, but I don't anymore.
I feel like the Jazz got 2 great centers too, in Nurkic and Kessler, and
Yeah, Nurkic is. We haven't even talked about
Nurkic is
Nurkic,
great.
but he's looked solid.
Yeah, he
I think
has
he's a
looked
great
good.
backup
11,
option.
11 rebounds versus the Kings, so he really stepped up. When
I think
Kessler was a little down.
they could also sub in a lot with each other, Nurkic and Kessler, depending on what they want. Because
For sure.
Yes, well, I mean, Walker went down with foul trouble, obviously, in this last game, and we saw Nurkic play a bit.
It's Ryan Kalkbrenner, I forgot. From
Oh,
Creighton.
yes, Kalkbrenner.
That's
Oh
the starter
my
right now.
God.
With
From
Mason
Creighton?
Plumlee on the bench, but he's not doing
Yeah,
Did he
Walker
come from
Kessler's
Creighton?
going to have a field day with
Yeah,
him.
he came from Creighton.
did he come from Creighton last season?
Yes, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
And they have 3 rookies that they're rotating in their everyday lineup.
Honestly, though, what was I going to say? Portland is a sneaky good team. They're
Sneaky
really good
good.
defensively, so I don't know. We could even drop that game, too.
I know. Well, like
It'll be interesting to see how well the offense does against a good defensive team like Portland, because I think they were one of the best defensive teams in the league last year, despite being one of the worst teams. So it was kind of crazy.
names like Donovan Clingan, Kamara, obviously.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday's one of the best defensive guards in the country.
Yeah.
And Denny.
Avila, he's good, too.
He's really good.
When does Dame come back? Just side note.
Oh,
probably next year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's
Not
He
that
tore his
late,
Achilles.
late season.
And
Yeah.
Scoot's out, too, but, I mean,
Yeah,
still has a
Poot
really-
Henderson.
Scoots.
Anyway,
huge.
that's going to wrap up the Utah Jazz segment of the Grid City Press podcast. And we're going to hop into a brief break, and we'll see you right back for the Utah
We
Mammoth.
take note.
Hello, welcome to the Utah Mammoth portion of the Grid City Press podcast. Today we are going to be covering 4 games, huge games. We got the Bruins game, and we got the Avalanche game, the
What a
Colorado
stretch.
Avalanche game, St. Louis Blues, and then the Minnesota Wild. Huge streak for us, starting off really hot. Well, not starting off, but had a beautiful stretch of games for Utah Mammoth. We are now on a 6-win streak and top of the Central Division.
Longest win streak in franchise history, by the way.
Yep.
So
We broke that after the Blues game.
It's amazing.
We are the only team in the Western Conference that's 4-0-0 at home. We have the best record in the West. Nick Schmaltz is second in points, just behind Jack Eichel of the Golden Knights by 1 point. And Utah are
in the league?
Yep.
Wow.
He's 15 points. Jack Eichel has 16 on the Golden Knights. And Utah are the only team with an undefeated mascot. How are you guys feeling after that stretch of wins?
Tusky.
I'm feeling good. Obviously, I think we play the Winnipeg Jets today as we record. It'll be yesterday when this episode comes out. But, yeah, obviously amazing stretch. I predicted that we'd win 3 of the 4 games this week. We've already won 3. That Avalanche was a huge win at home. Yeah, feeling good.
Yeah, you mentioned Nick Schmaltz getting off to a hot start this season. It's awesome to see because last season, I think it took him like at least 3 months to even find the back of the net. So to see him leading or getting close to leading the league in points is really impressive. Obviously, we've played really well these past couple games. And to be in this position, it's just really impressive. I just hope we can keep this going. Obviously, NHL season is really long, and it's all about can your ups be higher than your downs. But we'll see what happens. And, yeah, it's a great start to the season so far.
Yeah, I agree. So many great stats we're already putting on the board here, and all these games have been super entertaining and quite a bit of scoring, too. I love seeing all the goals we're getting.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I'll go into Nick Schmaltz more later, but he broke some records last season, and I think he can do even better. Personal records last season, I think he can do even better this season. But yeah, like Oliver said, we've scored a lot in these last 5 games. So on to the Bruins game. Utah Mammoth, about to say Jazz. Utah Mammoth hosted the Bruins. I think overall this is great composure shown from the squad. We took the lead, then we lost it, and then we took it back and held on to it for the win. Overall, the game was beautiful. Schmaltz played amazing, as opposed to, last year. Like I said, he's broke some personal records, and something I noticed about Schmaltz is I feel like he's always a part of the plays. No matter what, he's somewhere and part of it, and he put up more record numbers for himself this year. He might put up more record numbers for himself this year. JJ Peterka, game winner, was really impressive. And honestly, that's exactly what we wanted to see. I remember earlier, I think it was the first podcast, we were like, yeah, we want to see a little bit more out of JJ Peterka, and he's really put up a lot of numbers. Great game winner for him. It was beautiful. He's really showing out. I think those were 2 key players in this win. But I do want to highlight that Vitek Vanacek, he took the goal this game, and he had some beautiful saves. Seriously, he had some beautiful saves. Again, going back to the composure thing, he really shined in that category. Yeah, I think he had a lot to do with shifting the momentum because, like I said, took the lead, lost it, and then took the lead again and held on to it for the win. Firstly, composure, and then shifting of momentum. His big saves, crowd kind of got quiet after Boston took a 2-1 lead, and his big saves kind of helped us turn that around, get a huge tying goal and winning goal. But he had 24 saves of 26 shots against. Great backup goalie. I'll go into him in a second. Clayton Keller, after the game, even made similar comments. He was like, he was unreal, and it's a good confidence booster for him to get at home for this win. But like I said, great backup. I want to ask you guys this. I think this is also a goalie win, not just key players mentioned, but even though he's our backup goalie, I'm comfortable with him in goal. What do you guys think about Vitek as a backup? Maybe not. I feel like backup is poor wording to even give him.
He's a backup.
Yeah,
you can call him.
I just feel like with the way he's played, backup is just a bad nomenclature to give him because he's so good.
I think in NHL too, it's like more of like they're both playing a lot of games, but Vejmelka leads the NHL in wins right now at 6, which is really cool. And then I think, and they're also both from Czech. Mm-hmm. They're both, I just think, solid keepers. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's like a pitcher. Like if anyone didn't know, NHL does rotate their goalkeepers regularly just because you're taking so many shots every game. Yeah, just a great second option. Obviously, Veggie's been great, leading the league in wins. Yeah, it's just really comfortable to have some good guys protecting the goal.
Yeah, obviously last year we started out with Connor Ingram as our starter, and then he kind of had a lot of issues. He wasn't really playing that well, and then obviously ended up having some mental health issues towards the end of the season. Vamelka obviously came out and was able to win that starting job like midway through the season because of just how impressive he played. And then just to see a guy like Vanacek step up and be a good backup, we didn't really have that last year. That was one of the issues with our team last year was just the backup goaltending. So if Vanacek can continue to play like he has, it's a good sign for the team.
For sure, great pickup option, great sign. I love the way he played this game. I love that we swap him out like that. On to the Avalanche game. Utah were down early, and it didn't look too pretty. They honestly looked like the best team in the NHL for a while when we were playing them. It was kind of scary. It was off rocky start. I was like, oh, these guys could absolutely kill us. But in the second period, we turned it around and we took the lead, taking the lead in the second and then going on to the third. And it went back and forth. Colorado tie it. We take the lead back. And then the Avs score just a beautiful goal to tie it. I can't lie. That goal was from a crazy angle to the upper
really
left
good.
corner. It was nasty to see on television. Yeah, unreal shot. And it was tied 3-3 in the third period, going on to overtime. And I'm not going to lie, that shot low-key silenced the crowd. It felt like, okay, well, this could be it for us. At least we got 1 point off overtime loss because they won the face-off. As soon as we got into overtime, I'm like, all right, well, that's it. We're going to be taking 1 point in overtime. But Sergachev, I want to mention Sergachev because this is a really good game for him. And I don't want to say, oh, it was a surprise. Well, it wasn't a surprise. Great game from him. But he takes the puck from McKinnon, gave it to Clayton Keller, who just sped down the ice, passed it to Gunther. It was a greatly timed pass, I think. Again, there was another assist. Someone, I can't remember exactly, but there was an assist earlier in the season that was perfectly timed. He waited for the defender.
It was Gunther to Cooley.
Yes, thank you. Gunther to Cooley. Another great time pass and assist. But he gave it to Gunther, who literally was almost behind the goal when he hit it. To put this in like basketball terms, it was like a fadeaway shot. It was, I thought it was a great goal too. I mean, he barely hit it in. But like I said, great time pass, great touch to score it. We felt that win, that high, I felt for so long. Like we felt on top of the world after that Colorado game.
Yeah, it really did. And like just being able to watch it on ESPN and kind of feeling the hype around the Mammoth and like just seeing like in commercial breaks, like even with sports all around the season, just seeing the Mammoth logo and Avalanche right there, it just makes you feel really cool that we have an actual hockey team and that we were playing a primetime game.
Yeah, since Harper was the only one at this game in person, what was the atmosphere like beating a rival like that, beating a team that is competing for first place in Central West in overtime?
Yeah, it was really fun to be at. I will say there were a lot of Avalanche fans in the stands. I was sitting next to a couple, so it was kind of fun to chirp them back and forth. There were a lot of goals called back in this game. The score was like 3-4, so that's like 7 goals. But I think there were probably like 9 goals scored. There were a couple goals that were taken back, so it was just fun. There was scoring all over the place. And then Ethan, you talked about that goal at the end where the Avalanche tied it. I think it was like with 2 minutes left, and we kind of felt confident that we were going to win this game. And then, just hit an unreal goal. Like, literally couldn't have placed the puck more perfectly. Yeah. It just slid right between Vamelka's shoulder and head. And then, it kind of took the air out of the arena, like you said. It was crazy. But the good thing is you mentioned overtime and Sergachev's play. Overtime, when you're playing 3-on-3, it's all about how long you can control the puck for to get a good shot. And so when McKinnon and the Avalanche win a faceoff, you get kind of scared for a second because obviously these are some of the best players in the league. And so when they are going to control the puck, you're going to lose a lot of the time. But Sergachev making a play like that and just giving it to Keller and then Gunther making that play, it's exactly what you want to see from this team who is playing one of the best teams in the NHL.
Exactly, they're Stanley Cup runners. They have a high percentage to win the Stanley Cup, and I think that's our best squad for an overtime like that. Sergachev, great defensively,
100%.
And then Clayton Keller and Gunther on the attack, leading the line in the front two. They're perfect for that.
And what a difference 1 point makes versus or 2 points makes versus 1 point, especially when we're playing divisional rivals.
Yeah.
It's like you have to come out with those 2 points.
Exactly. And you said earlier, you were like, there's no more important games than these divisional rival games.
It's true.
That is a huge game. I said earlier, I was like, this really puts the league on notice, even when we lost to them by 1 goal.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff is really what makes us is a difference maker.
I agree.
What do you think this? We can kind of go off that. What do you think this win shows the league or means to ourselves, or what do we have to do to keep this streak alive?
Yeah, I think obviously this team is still fairly young, but the fact that we're able to pull out a win against a veteran team like the Avalanche, I was listening to a podcast or something somewhere where it said the Avalanche's timeline is about 5 to 8 years ahead of us. So the fact that we're beating a team that's been around for a decent amount of years competing like that, it's a good thing to see, and obviously these are wins that this team will build upon for the future. So.
Yeah, I think seeing this game tonight is today with Winnipeg and Utah is going to be our hardest challenge right now, just because they're so good. But I believe we're a top 4 team in our conference, no doubt. I want this momentum to just continue, and I wanted to ask: is this momentum different than last year in a way where it's progressing? And do you think it has to do with any of our new players?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, it definitely is. We talked about it, longest win streak in franchise history. Previous one was 4. So, I mean, the fact that we're starting the season off with a 6-game win streak is absolutely insane. I wrote about this in an article this week, but the line 2 of Cooley, Gunther, and Peterka is just insane.
Yeah.
You're obviously going to get into the Blues game here in a second, but they had the first 3 goals that were scored in that game all were while line 2 was on the ice. So, yeah, it 100% has to deal with the new signings, I think, and just a lot of our guys progressing. Ethan will get into it more, but yeah, Cooley's having a hell of a start to a season. So yeah.
Yeah, like Arbor said, no more important games than these divisional rivals. Some important stats from that game: we went 1 for 2 on power play opportunities and scored on our power play. So they had 2 power play opportunities. We had 1. That's big because we talked about power play being an issue for us. Like that home opener game Harper and I went to, we were 0-7, I think.
Yeah, 0-6, I think.
Yeah, 0-6 in the power play in the home opener, but we killed Colorado's penalty. That was beautiful. Like, I mean, we haven't been really complaining about the penalty kill that much. Yeah, so Clayton Keller had another multiple point game. I think after that Colorado game, that marks 3 multiple point games in a row for him. And Veggie saved 30 of 33 shots. So great job from Veggie.
That's amazing.
I'll get him to after the St. Louis game, I think. But yeah, like you said, first with record, he's 6-1. That's great to see. So great job. Thank you, Veggie. Every game. I'm never in doubt with him in goal.
So Veggie's played 6 games and then Vanacek started 1.
I think Vanacek's played 7. I think Vanacek's played 2 or 3. Is it 3?
Because we're 3. Oh wait, no. Sorry, it might
I
be
think it's
2.
2.
We're
I think it's
7-2, and we're 7-2, and Veggie's 6-1 record.
Yeah, he's played 2 games. So.
Before Ethan jumps into the last 2 games, another quick note: holding McKinnon to he didn't have an assist or a goal that game.
He didn't have a single point. So.
Yeah, and he's 3rd in the league in points. Mm-hmm. He's just right behind Schmaltzy. I just think Veggie holding him to shutting out a player like Nathan McKinnon, who's obviously one of the best players in this league, super important. I think every sport, you just got to make sure that you limit their best player, especially when it's one of the best in the leagues, and you'll get to see results.
And it's not even just about limiting one player. Like even with Cale Makar and them, they have so many good talents on that team. So
I agree.
Cale Makar has 8 assists on the season so far. So
that's crazy. Okay, on a St. Louis game, 7-4 win over the Blues in St. Louis to start our away game run. Gave us a new franchise record, but obviously we beat that again. We got 6 now, but that gave us our franchise record of 5 straight. Of course, we kept that going against the Wild, like I just said. But Logan Cooley, he had a hat trick, being our 2nd hat trick in the last 4 games.
Yeah, first natural hat trick in franchise history.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but Harper, break down what a natural hat trick is compared to.
yeah, so it just means no open net goals. So
Cool.
So
he
he
scored
scored.
was there at all times.
Yes, keeper was there at all times.
Nice. Schmaltz had 2 assists, and JJ Peterka got a hat trick of assists. Hat tricks all around. I love hat trick or assist hat tricks. I think they're almost as beautiful as the goals.
Gunther also had a hat trick and assists
Yes.
too. So.
Oh, sorry, forgot to mention that. Good job. But yeah, I think the assist hat tricks are almost as beautiful as the goals. because you can't forget that. The assist is what makes the goal sometimes. We had the goals going early, and it was a really quick game. We won on the power play goals again this game. Great penalty kills to stop them from coming back to the game because they had 6 total penalty opportunities, and we killed 5 of them. And the Blues only scored on 1 of them. But they definitely could have brought the game back with these penalties. We were giving a lot of penalties, and they could have made it a 1-point game a lot of the time with a couple of penalties. So
Yeah, Vejmelka did not play this game very well at all. He had a 80% save percentage, which is
16 saves.
Yeah, which is not that great. But it's
compared to his 30.
Yeah, and we talked about at the beginning of the season how it looked like the Mammoth's defense was going to be the staple of this season. And it's good to see when the defense is faltering that the offense can step up. We talked about line. I just talked about line 2. Combined, line 2 had 10 total points in this game against the Blues. So when the Mammoth Stars step up, they are going to win a lot of games this season.
yeah, I agree. Sorry, did you?
Oh, just saying. We get out of here with a commanding road win. I think winning on the road, especially against divisional rivals, always huge. Went up 4-0 early. Seems like St. Louis Blues responded pretty well the first few goals, and they cut it to 1 goal, I think, a few times. But it's just nice to see that the boys can answer back and just hold the lead the whole game and come out with a 3-goal win. 7 goals is always huge. Like we said, hat-tricks all around. Just lots of good stats. Putting the league on notice. I mean, Schmaltzy up there with 15 points on the year is just great. I mean, people seeing that Utah name next to his, I think, is super important to give us more recognition. Like Oliver said, the ESPN game on Colorado. It's just fun to see a team like the Mammoth getting that recognition. Obviously, Jazz don't have as many nationally televised games this season, so it's just good to see Utah getting some fair representation in the media and across the country.
I agree. I love that we're getting that out there. Something I want to just ask you guys a question. We were up 3-0 with 40 minutes to go, which can still be scary in hockey because at that point the game isn't away because it's still so early. Would you guys rather be up early or late 3-0? Would you guys rather be up 3-0 early or late into the game? Like, are you more confident with that lead early?
Would I rather be up 3-0 later in the game or
early in the game like we were? Like we were up 3-0 with 40 minutes to go. Would you rather
And then they
get a 3-0 lead late or early in the game? Or
I mean, obviously late in the game because there's not as much time for them to come back. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting to see because, we do go up, what was it, 3-0 early, or was it even 4-0?
4-0, we went
4-0, okay, yeah. So, and then we kind of fell asleep. You can't really do that, especially against the Blues. They were a playoff team. I think they won 13 straight games to end the season last year to get into the playoffs. So, obviously, can't fall asleep. I'm glad we were able to close it out. But yeah, can't fall asleep at the
probably
wheel.
a stupid question because later in the game they have less opportunity, but I feel like this is a difference I see in soccer versus hockey. For soccer, a 3-0 really any time of the game makes you feel like the game's done and dusted. 3 goals is hard to come back from at any point, and at that point you're playing to stop the floodgates from opening. 2 goals is easier to tie and maybe even win the game, but yeah, hockey's really fast paced, shifts fast, penalties even early into the game. So yeah, obviously 3-0 early into the game.
Yeah, just to clarify, I think Ethan just meant, do we feel more comfortable with starting out with a lead and then playing defense, or do we like fighting for that lead towards the end and kind of earning it that way? I think you just want to see our thoughts on parking the bus pretty much.
Just like you ask it.
Would you feel? Yeah. Anyway, I think it's super important to keep the pedal to the metal. Obviously, St. Louis fought back. I think a lot of lessons learned this game. But yeah, 4-0 lead to start. It's just amazing. I'd hope in every situation we'd win a game up 4-0. But even with St. Louis fighting back, it's just good to see us keep our composure and finish this one out.
Yeah, Ethan. If that's what you meant, sorry, I was a little confused. But yeah, you definitely. I will say it's easier to play in close games than it is probably being up because
there you go.
You have the tendency to just be relaxed.
Yeah,
so.
Charlie, you
It's
worded,
just like ours.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, you worded that a lot better, Charlie. Thank you.
It just came off as like a soccer question, and I knew what you were talking.
Yeah,
I knew what you were talking about. You're good.
Something I just want to kind of end this on. Harper talked about our first and second lines already. Our first and second line are both scoring consistently, which I feel like consistently is a reputation we want to build. Consistency, we were out skating them heavily this game as well. But yeah, I think consistency is the name of the game this season. We want to build that reputation, and that's going to carry us through this season to hopefully make us a playoff spot. But I'm still going to stick with the wild card spot just because I want to exceed expectations.
I like it.
So,
Awesome.
so I got one more game, the Wild game, the Minnesota Wild game. Currently, the Mammoth and the Jets are playing right now as we're recording this. But the Wild game, the one just before this, Cooley and Schmaltz both scored twice to keep us hot and looking good. Logan Cooley scored both in the first period, and he only 2 days earlier had a hat trick. And then he opens the tally with a goal with 56 seconds. 56 seconds into the first period, and it was a shot like out of midair. Like it was, if you watch the replay, it was kind of cool
you track that and then hit it back with a stick. That's an insane play.
Yeah.
So,
and then he gets a second goal on a slashing penalty. Johansson of the Wild got them back into the game. He kind of almost carried them back into the game to get them, 3-2. And one of them was off a power play. And, yeah, whatever. I mean, the goal was basically open here, and the defense was a bit blown on this one. I don't know. His goal was pretty unfortunate, but it's okay. I think defense kind of faltered in that power play. They gave him an open goal, and he easily slotted it. But our power play and other opportunities has still been great to shut him out.
yeah.
Yeah, like Harper said in this week's article prior to the Blues game, I believe, or Wild game.
I wrote one before the Blues and Wild, so I don't know.
Anyway, check out gridcitypress.com for articles. Harper broke down how our power play percentage has gone up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's super important to winning games. Obviously, it's showing off 4 wins this week. Hopefully, getting a 5th today against Winnipeg is just huge. And Edmonton. We play Edmonton this week. Like you're saying about Cooley, 5 goals in 2 games. That's amazing. He ends up tying Schmaltz for most goals in the season. They both have 7.
Yeah,
That's just
Schmaltz has scored 7 in 5 games.
Yeah, that's just great.
insane.
That's just great to see 2 guys like battling it out for most goals in the season. Obviously, Schmaltz has 8 assists to his name as well. It's just good to see those stats. And like obviously, Gunther is our overtime killer. Like it's just nice to see that other people can score. Like if you were to tell me Schmaltz and Cooley would be our lead scorers this
I wouldn't
far
believe
in
it
with
either.
this much success, I probably wouldn't believe it because Keller and Gunther and Paterka offer great goal scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I think the other thing that stand out for me over these past couple games is we talked about how the power play has struggled. We now have scored on a power play in the last 4 games. So if we want to continue to win games, that's got to be something that continues to happen. But
Sorry. On the power play, we had 4 opportunities and capitalized off 1. So just to quickly get through this, Vomilka had 33 saves out of 35. And
that's the veggie we know.
Like you said,
Yeah.
he's got the
There you
best
go.
record. He's 6-1,
wins.
but he has the 20th best save percentage. He's .904.
Wow.
Which I don't feel like that being 20th with how well he's played. I just don't. It doesn't feel
yeah,
like
well,
it.
we had that one
we had that one
80% game,
yeah.
so it's
You
like
also
that's going to hurt
you also just got to think about how many. You're saying 20th in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah, you also got to think about how many goalies play compared to.
Okay. True. Oh yeah, true. A small stat I do want to highlight though is I think Simashev has been playing great, but he's got the most penalty minutes on the team.
I saw that.
That being 16.
It's awesome.
I think thankfully we are great at killing the penalties, but maybe there's just more opportunity to give the opposition less opportunity.
I mean, obviously you don't want to have the other team go up on a power play often because then you're giving them more opportunities. I can't remember exactly what our power play percentage was. I think it was somewhere around 75%, which isn't terrible. But yeah, if we're obviously that means if we're giving them 4 opportunities, they're going to score on at least 1. So yeah, definitely want to limit the minutes on penalties.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.
That's all I got for the Mammoth section. We are
Yeah.
currently playing the Winnipeg Jets right now.
Yeah, big game, obviously. Central West, we are first with 14 points with 9 games played. Colorado in second with 13 points with the same amount of games. And Winnipeg coming in with 12 points, and they do have a game in hand. So we won't be able to see where we add up against them until their next game. But yeah, things are looking good. This week we're coming up. We go travel to Edmonton this Tuesday, October 28th. That's a 7:30 puck drop, ESPN Plus, SEG Plus, Mammoth Plus. That's where you can catch the game. And only 2 games this week. We also host Tampa Bay next Sunday, November 2nd, with a 1:30 p.m. little matinee on NHL Net and Mammoth Plus. So, yeah, 2 games this week. Let's just get some quick predictions. 4 points on the table. How many are we grabbing?
I think it's going to be tough. Winnipeg and Edmonton are both hot
Well,
out of Canada.
just Edmonton and Tampa. That's all I'm
Oh,
asking.
not Winnipeg? Oof. Harper, you want to take this one first?
Honestly, I think we lose against Edmonton And I think we'll win against Lightning. So we'll say 2 points out of the 2 games.
I think we're just going to continue on a pretty strong streak, and we're going to win both. I think it's also going to depend on if we win or lose tonight, because I feel like if we beat Winnipeg, we're on top of the world.
I agree. I like that. I'll go right in the middle. I'll say 3 points. I think we maybe snag 1 point from Edmonton, go to overtime and lose, and then beat Tampa Bay.
Edmonton have been a little bit rocky this season. They're 4-4. They lost to a couple teams that I feel like maybe they wouldn't lose to normally, but the Devils are a great team, so that's a big loss for them. But I think we'll take 2 against Lightning.
If they're still tied on first overtime, do they go again?
They go to shootouts.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap up the Utah Mammoth segment. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week with a nice review of the Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Tampa Bay game.
Tusk up.
Tusk up.
All right, guys, welcome to our Utah Utes football segment of the Grid City Sports Podcast. We're going to get into it. We're going to start with Utah football, and then we're going to head to Utah basketball for our Utah athletics section. We had a wonderful game last night. We all went Parents Weekend versus the Colorado Buffaloes in prime time. We had an amazing time. I think it was really cool because Bird Ficklin started, Devin Dampier, a little bit hurt. Still there warming up. Good to see him in his pads, but I think it was overall Bird Ficklin time. But, yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I want to ask you guys, who was your guys' MVP of the game?
Jackson Benny.
100%. Yeah, Jackson Benny's my favorite player on this team. But I'm going to go Wayshawn Parker. I think it was a good bounce-back game. Haven't seen him on the scores these last few games as much as we'd like. But, that 50-plus yard touchdown was huge. I think it's good to get some momentum. N'Keary Rogers finding the back of the end zone as well. Bird obviously holding it down.
Yeah, what a dominating win. 53-7 for the Utah Utes. I think it just shows we just got ranked 24th, and I just think it shows how strong of a team we are. I really wish we would have beat Texas Tech or BYU, but that's okay because I still think we're a very strong team, and it really showed last night. I think our rushing game, Bird Ficklin, he rushed for 151 yards. Wayshawn Parker, my favorite player, rushed for 145 yards. And, Harvard, do you want to talk about how much the game changes with that momentum when we score 2 rushing touchdowns that fast out of the gate?
Yeah, I've talked about it before in the podcast. When Utah scores early, it's hard to beat us. Like I don't understand what happened last weekend at BYU or even at Texas Tech, because this Utah team really is good. It's just kind of unfortunate that we've kind of played hard teams to start the season. Bird Ficklin outrushed Colorado's entire team. So when your quarterback outrushes an entire team, you're going to win probably 99 times out of 100. So
Colorado had negative 40 yards in the first half of rushing.
And they were -8 total yards on offense at halftime. So
horrible.
That's atrocious. But like Oliver said, weather was great at Rice Eccles Stadium. Just in time for parents.
The little pom poms.
Yeah, the Musk got the pom poms. It was fun. Weather was
a bit of an issue in the front section of the Musk.
Weather was great. 8:15 kick on ESPN. Just good time. This game had a lot of everything, which I'll get into. But what were your thoughts, Ethan?
I think it was a great game. Something I do want to kind of harp on is I feel like I'm not trying to put a time limit on it, but I feel like Devin Dampier, for his sake, has really got to show out against Cincinnati if he plays, because Kyle Whittingham has said, if you're gonna play, I want 100%. So if he's injured, he shouldn't play. But I think for his sake, he should really shine out in this game, because Bird Ficklin's got nothing to lose, and if we put him in, he's just gonna hopefully he can run the show. But still, I think for Devin Dampier's sake, he's got to play well against Cincinnati. Not like it's his last game, but
exactly. And I think to maybe put a little devil's advocate on it, I think I saw a lot, and I don't know if this is the center's fault or his too, or if he was just nerves with the pressure, which I'll ask about you guys in a second. But I saw a lot of bobbles. Couple little kind of just fumbles, getting the ball, and I'd say that was kind of just a little bit negative. And then I think he needs to get into his throwing game a little bit more. A little bit was the receivers had to go and get it, but
it took a minute for him to get into the throwing. But he kind of heated up more in the second half and had a great touchdown pass to Larry Simmons.
Yeah, and I like the spread out yardage of Dallin Bentley, J.J. Buchanan, Ryan Davis, and Larry Simmons, kind of all having similar yards and being able to all have certain catches and a couple of touchdowns. And I think that I hope Bert Ficklin can get a little bit more into his throwing.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously Utah's going to have a tough decision to make this upcoming week against a big game like Cincinnati. College game day is coming to town. So it's a big game for the Utes just to stay alive in general in the Big 12. I will say I like Dampier a lot. I think he's a better passer than Bird, obviously. Yes. But I just think Bird is better at running the ball. We've seen, them run that jet sweep with Bray, and then obviously once you run that once, you can run like a little fake and just a QB draw up the middle. And I think Bird is just better at finding space than Dampier. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because Colorado wasn't a really good team at stopping the run, and Dampier
wasn't really good.
Yeah,
they were awful.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was more on Colorado's fault or if it was really just Bird's that good. But Dampier has struggled a lot of the time to find open space, especially in that BYU game and Texas Tech game. So
yeah, and I think Jason Beck. Just a few critiques during Texas Tech and BYU game. It feels like they want him and Witt want Dampier to throw out of the pocket, but I think him becoming a dual threat, getting out of the pocket, throwing the ball can be a lot more effective. So I hope we can see a lot of just dual threat options, him getting out of the pocket with the throw option still available next week against Cincinnati. Game days coming to town, big game. Our hopes for the Big 12 championship game are slim, but they're not zero. Need a lot of things to happen, and it starts with beating Cincinnati next week. That'd be a great home win. And Cincinnati's still undefeated in the Big 12, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a big time win.
That's a great point. I think he would definitely be a lot more, not what's the word I'm looking for, dangerous if he could throw out of the pocket. Maybe I don't know why he wouldn't, but I think I just hope we can see a BYU Utah Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, and I think
that'd be crazy. But
Ficklin was 10 for 22 passing, if I remember correctly. Obviously, that's not a great completion percentage for a quarterback, but he did have two good throws. He had like a throw to who was it? Bentley. It was like a 26-yard touchdown, which was pretty good. And then he had like a
Buchanan and Simmons he found deep.
Yeah. So we had like two pretty good throws, both to our tight ends, which was good to see.
Catch on that one where it's 1 foot. It was a great play. Anyways, I wanted to ask you guys, do you think it seems like Bird Ficklin's not even a true freshman with how he's handling this pressure. I mean, he handled it so good. I really didn't even see too many nerves. And he just can really – I think when you can run the ball like that, it's going to be pretty easy for you. The fakes worked amazingly. I personally don't like when we run him first play of the drive.
Wait,
after we'll do it and then they'll do it again and it'll be like we'll have another drive and they'll just start it by doing Bert Ficklin just immediate run. Okay. And it's like I think we should either try passing the first time or do a little sweep to Bray.
Yeah, and I will say that's a great point. And I don't know if maybe they were just conservative with the play calling because he obviously hasn't had a lot of in-game experience passing the ball, so maybe they were just forcing him to run the ball more than Dampier might. He maybe doesn't have full access to the playbook. But I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I would like to see more passing. I think we've been saying that all season, though. Honestly, we'd like to see more passing opportunities from the Utes. But who do you guys think should start against Cincinnati if Dampier is maybe not 100% healthy? Let's say he's ready to go, but he's not 100%. Do you say throw Dampier out there, or based on what Ficklin showed us against Colorado, do you start him? I just don't know.
I don't think he should start if he's not 100%. I said, Kyle Whittingham said earlier, if you're going to play, I want 100%. If you're injured, don't. I don't think he should play if he's not completely not injury prone.
I agree. I think he'll be good to go by Saturday, but if he's injured, I don't think that it's worth the risk. But then again, this might be our last ranked matchup of the season. It's big time. Obviously, we're getting flashbacks to Cam Rising with a little injury turning into a bad injury, but Bird looked great. Obviously, the throw game, it's been a catalyst the whole season. We got to figure that out. But I think I'm open. But if Devin's on 100, I'm okay with Bird. I think he looked comfortable. He looked confident last night.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on practice. Devin didn't practice a lot this week, so if he's going to be practicing and be a full participant there, I think yeah, go ahead and give Devin the start. But if not, I think why not start Bert Ficklin? And if he's not doing okay, Devin's suited up and he's ready to go.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, not fully, because obviously Dampier hasn't had a terrible season this year, but I think it was the 2021 season where Utah started Charlie Brewer, and he just had a terrible start to the season, and then Cam Rising came in, and we were able to win more games. So I don't know, there's something about Bird Ficklin that just gives me more hope. He's brought a lot of spark to the offense, and I don't know, maybe obviously he's come in more in garbage time minutes, and then obviously played, I guess, a terrible Colorado team. I don't know what happened yesterday to Colorado because they couldn't stop anything.
Horrendous.
But yeah, I don't know if that was more Colorado's fault or maybe if it was just Bird playing really well. But I kind of like I want to give the ball to the guy with the hot hand. It's got to be Bird Ficklin, in my opinion. I know it's obviously a hot take because we've paid Dampier so much money to come from New Mexico. You know, obviously Jason Beck and him have some history, working together, but dude, we made that mistake in 2021. We almost didn't make a Pac-12 championship because of it. We're in a similar situation now. I want to go with the hot hand. Bird Ficklin, in my opinion, has to start on Saturday.
How do you feel about a 50-50?
Well, that's the problem. Is like obviously Bird Ficklin would come in for QB draws or like read option plays. It seems so predictable if we're moving Dampier in and out, because obviously Dampier would be the guy you're wanting to pass to. So it'd be like, oh, if Dampier's in, it's just more predictable. Because obviously, you see a guy like Bird Ficklin and you're like, well, okay, we're just gonna pack the box because it's gonna be a run play. So you can't really split, but I don't know. If Dampier's maybe not playing well first half, maybe you think about just going to Bird Ficklin, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Definitely
I think having both available will be super important on Cincinnati. Kyle likes to keep his opponents on his toes anyway.
Yeah, Dampier listed as probable for this game and then didn't play.
It's funny.
Crazy. And I have another really important question is, do you think it depends on the quarterback if Devin or Bird's playing, whether we haven't seen a lot more of Snowden or Benny playing on offense? Do you think that's because Benny did get hurt playing offense last time, or why have we not seen them anymore?
I don't know. I talked about it a little bit, saying that maybe, obviously Bird didn't get, full reps this week at practice, so maybe he just didn't get the full playbook as far as passing plays go. I don't know how that works really, but maybe, obviously, if he were to get a full week of practice, maybe we would see those type of opportunities come in with Snowden and Benny. But I don't know. Maybe Kyle Whittingham's just completely switching it after the BYU loss. I don't know.
Yeah, speaking on some tomfoolery, this came out a little bit of everything going in the favor of the Utes. Just starting off, we got Orion Phillips' fake punt to Dallin Bentley in the first quarter.
Awesome.
So we had a fake punt there. Had a safety. Yards. We had a safety from intentional grounding in the second quarter from Colorado. Our pressure was good, but it wasn't good enough for him to throw 40 yards downfield with no one in sight. Just get that ball out of bounds, buddy. But yeah, we get the safety, get the ball back. And then second quarter, Jackson Benny, the sophomore, I remind you, he gets his blocked punt. Jackson Benny this year has 3 interceptions, 1 pick six, a blocked field goal, and a blocked punt, and half a sack. Those are amazing statistics.
Yeah, that's insane,
39.
dude.
He's tied with total tackles with Jonathan Hall at 39. So
yeah,
he's tackling out of his mind.
Yeah, and he doesn't even play up front, which is even crazier. So
yeah, so this first half was action packed. Little slower tempo in the second half, but another notable sack was the shoestring tackle from Trey Reynolds, causing a punt.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Getting Rice Eccles going, and then Dylan Curtis stepping up and knocking down a 53-yarder.
I think we thought it was like 42 at the time or something. I remember, but I went back and watched the highlights. I was like 53. I was like, that's good. You got to see those go through because Dylan Curtis has struggled this season. So.
Yeah, and that makes him 2 for 3 on 50+ yarders, and he's still 2 for 5 between 40 and 49 yards.
Obviously, he missed that field goal that didn't count against BYU. But other than that Wyoming game where he missed 3 field goals, which one was blocked, he's only missed 1 field goal. So not terrible from the freshman, but disregarding the Wyoming game. 3 field goals missed is unacceptable, but yeah, like
he also had one against Arizona State that got called. That he missed it, and then it got called back, and he got to do it again, and then he made it. So yeah, it's kind of funny. He's kind of gotten a little lucky this season, but
but I think the fact that he can step up and make a 53-yarder, I think that's been a little lackluster the last few years. I mean, college football kicking can be questionable at times, but to have someone with a leg that can make it 53, 60 yards, that's huge.
I agree.
Yeah.
Brings me back to the Andy Phillip Utah days.
Anyway, any last thoughts on Utah football going into Cincinnati?
Do you guys want to talk about how game day was announced? I know we already brought it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
you guys want to talk? Because if for everybody, we went to the game day versus Oregon. That was our last game day. After we went,
Oh
Ethan wasn't even in college yet. He was driving us around.
I was the one driving him around at 4 a.m.
But I remember camping out in the tent in President's Circle. They were like passing out pizza before. We were all just kind of like huddling around. And then I know the morning was a lot. We waited separate in lines for like hours.
I had to pee so bad.
Yeah, all to lose to Oregon by double digits, but it was a fun experience.
I will say, when we do get hyped up like this, we lose. I think we do.
Yeah,
It's
we
like
do.
Big noon
What
kickoff
about
and
I don't
everything.
think we've won a college game day since like Cal in 2016 or something.
So hopefully this time around, campus is always buzzing though. They do a great job setting it up. I cannot be
Yeah,
more
they do.
excited. Me and Charlie will unfortunately not be there, but other
I
than
think
that,
I think
they
I'm
both
gonna
will.
camp out.
You guys
again,
should.
So
You guys should.
Ethan,
I'll
if
come
you're
with you.
if you're
I'll come
down,
with
I think I'll be camping
Your
out.
little
again.
Grid City tent.
I'll come with you.
Yeah, okay. I will say before we wrap up Utah football, obviously Utah is no longer in control of their destiny in regards to the Big 12 championship, but the one thing we can control is winning out. So we can put ourselves in the best possible position to make a championship appearance, and you can only do that by winning out. So have to win this game.
Yep.
Utes.
Yeah, jumping in, we'll just jump right into Utah basketball. We got more news coming up ahead of the 2025-2026 season jumping in. But yeah, preseason Ken Palm rankings. Harper and I are big on Ken Palm, as you should be too if you're a college basketball fan. It takes into account efficiency,
Offensive and defensive ratings.
yeah,
Right?
just like really high level statistics. It's not like if a team gets blown out, they are going to take into account a lot of different statistics than like ESPN would. But yeah, we had our second exhibition game. We traveled to Eugene, played Oregon. Keep in mind, Oregon's 37 in the Ken Palm. We're 74. Wasn't expecting a win this game, and we didn't get a win. We lost by 20. But yeah, Oregon jumped off to a 17-0 start.
Yeah.
And regardless of it being an exhibition, I think if we go down 0-17 and we only lose by 20, that's okay. Like, I mean, this season I don't have a lot of high hopes. I think a goal of mine is to be 12th in the Big 12 out of 16 teams, and that's not a high standard. But I think it's Jensen's first year. Lots of stuff to learn.
What was the final score in the game?
53-73.
I saw something that said if you disregard the first 8 minutes of the game, the score would be 53-59. So the fact that they started out on a 17-0 run,
Exactly.
and we were able to keep it, I guess, semi close,
Yeah,
is I guess pretty impressive. So
yeah, one of the nation's best center, Nathan Biddle on Oregon, absolutely destroyed us. And with a team of an average of 6'6", for the U with Babacar Faye, our 6'9" transfer from Western Kentucky, out for the season, we just don't have anyone who can stop Nathan Biddle.
the thing is, that's going to cause us problems all season long.
season.
I just already know. We've talked about it so many times how important a big man is in college basketball. So obviously, if we could figure out a way, it just means we're going to have to shoot the ball really, really well this season. So maybe if we can figure something out, but yeah, I don't know. The fact that we do not have a designated center is going to hurt us a lot this season.
Yeah. And going back to the Ken Palm rankings, we were ranked 74th out of, I think it is
168 or something, probably.
365 teams
Oh,
in that,
wow.
John. So
All D1.
74. I mean, I'm excited to be within the 100, honestly, for me. And Oregon was 36. Nevada was like 77. We should have beat Nevada, in my opinion. But obviously going out to Oregon, switched up the lineup a little bit. McHenry was back.
Yeah, Don McHenry back in the starting lineup. 4 points, 1 for 6. He looked good in moments. Obviously, first game back for him. So it's just going to be interesting. We're going to play a lot of small ball. No Seydou Traore in this game after an injury from Nevada. But good to see Don McHenry back. Chop ends up with 4 points, 3 boards, and Ja'Kai Howard goes 0 for 6 from the field, but not scoring a point. Keanu with 10 points, 11 rebounds, and Terrence Brown leading with 15 points.
See, Ja'Kai with 0 points just makes no sense.
Yeah, we got to figure out his role on the team.
Ethan, what are your thoughts on? Obviously, we'll get to Terrence Brown sighting in a second, but what are your thoughts going into San Jose this week? And are you guys going to be attending?
I mean, we talked just barely about the center issue. I want to highlight Keanu Dawes having to play center. You guys made this comparison a little bit earlier in the podcast, or not last podcast. You said like how Flip had to play center and it didn't really work out for him, and it might have tanked his draft stock. I trust Keanu Dawes a lot, and I think he's a great player. but when they have like a 7-foot center, it's kind of hard for him to be able to take control and
there's only so much he can do.
Get points in the paint or even play defense in the paint. So I kind of feel bad. I don't want to say feel bad for Keanu Dawes having to play center, but it's going to be hard to watch if we're going to get kind of run in the paint. If we're getting ran in the paint.
Yeah, going 10 points, 11 boards is pretty good from Keanu Dawes playing a center like that. I think he's going to average triple-double close this season.
I mean, we have Josh Hayes and we have what's his name from London?
Oh, Okongwu?
Yeah, so all three guys will be playing, I think.
And Okongwu's big.
Yeah, they're both. I think all those three guys are 6'9". Is Keanu 6'9"?
No, he's like 6'8".
Okay. Well, those two guys, Josh Hayes and
6'7".
Okongwu, are both other 6'9" players, so hopefully they can help out a little bit on that center. But
yeah, honestly, anything's better than having Lawson Lovering as center at this point. So,
anyway, before we wrap up the Utah Athletics section, we want to hop in to the Utah Running Utes starting their official 2025-2026 campaign, opening up against San Jose State at the Huntsman Center, or as Terrence Brown would like to call it, the Hunt. Terrence Brown calls the Huntsman Center the Hunt. I like it.
What?
And I think it's going to be important, these next 6 games. I wanted to ask you, Charlie, how are you feeling about these next 6 games and our non-conference games? Because this schedule, I think, is winnable.
Oh, yeah, we should go 6-0. There might be a brutality game coming up, which is like a trap game, pretty much, where we lose to a non-conference team that we are paying to come play us. But, yeah, we should be able to beat them. We've got Cal Poly.
Who would you think it would be?
Purdue Fort Mason, just because I heard that from another podcast. They just said that, and I believe them, and they're looking into a team.
Are you serious?
Purdue.
Pull up the Ken Palm on San Jose real quick.
My iPad's freezing up, dude.
Sorry, catching you on the spot
You
here.
guys just talk about something else. I'll get you.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, going back to the non-conference thing, we got to win out, bro. Like, you got to start the season off right, especially since we don't have that hard of a non-conference.
Did you say we need to win out for, like, basketball? Or they're 6-0 first?
The 6
we got to win
games.
out of the
Yeah,
6
sorry,
games.
sorry.
Yeah, I think we should just
win out. I was like, we should just win the whole season.
I think
we should. Dude.
No, I think we should
have
mess-
to win. Then we have to win out.
I think we should mess around and go undefeated in basketball.
I think so too.
With as small as a team as we have. But yeah, San Jose State coming up. Not a lot of Utah basketball news. Most things we've said in the last few podcasts. We just can't wait to see some regular season play, see where we're at. I think it's important that we do play 6 non-conference, non-Power 5 teams because we just really got to get on our feet. Like, we're going to have some tricky games like Iowa or Ole Miss, and then Grand Canyon along with Mississippi State. Those are all going to be good games. And I think starting off with 6 teams that we should easily win. Yeah, San Jose State is 160th in the Ken Palm.
We should win that.
Yeah, you'd think we should win that.
Let's hope Ja'Kai Howard can get a point.
Yeah. Anyway, any last thoughts on Utah basketball?
Are you two going to be going to that game?
Yeah, I'll be going to that game, of course.
Yeah, I want to see every Utah basketball game I can and get those points.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think about the atmosphere. I think all the games should just be free this year and that everybody should just be able to walk in so we can actually have fans at the stadium.
Yeah.
Other than the
Mark
BYU
Harlan,
game and a
you're
couple
here
games.
first.
But that exhibition game, when people were just allowed to walk in and go in, we still couldn't fill up.
Well, yeah.
Well, it was an exhibition game.
Well, the
against
Huntsman
Nevada.
Center has to keep the lights on somehow.
Duke and Tennessee,
Oliver.
I'm sure, is on ESPN. It's the exhibition game tonight.
Say what?
Duke and Tennessee exhibition game. are
Oh,
on
my
ESPN
gosh.
tonight.
Well, yeah, but we are not Duke or Tennessee, and neither is Nevada. But
Do you know where we're going to be able to watch that San Jose game?
ESPN Plus. Every game's on ESPN Plus.
Oh,
No,
well,
but we
great.
actually do have some.
Big 12.
We have some televised game with cable or YouTube TV or whatever. So more than the Jazz.
That's awesome.
Running
Let's
Utes,
go
baby.
Utes, baby. Running Utes are back. Alex Jensen's back. Ja'Kai Howard hopefully will be back soon.
And hopefully, yeah. I think he's been gone on the plane so far, but
Yeah, and then anyway, first plane ride of the team, and before we love you, Utah Utes and Ja'Kai Howard, but.
yeah.
One last thing for the Utah Utes. We were with our friends. We're leaving the Utah football game last night. Oliver asks this lady to take a photo of us, and someone starts walking in front of the camera, and it's none other than Terrence Brown, who we've saw in public probably like 5 times now.
Somehow keep running into him.
We keep running into Terrence
He's
Brown.
always there, and I love that he's at like every event.
Yeah, I do like that too because not a lot of players go to every other team. Like he's all in on Utah. Like he went to the Holy War last week. Anyway, Terrence Brown walks into our photo, and we invite him to take the photo with us. Great guy.
It was a great picture.
One of our
So
one of our-
nice.
One of our friends ended up FaceTiming Choppa on Terrence's phone, but that's a story for another time. And it was great to see Terrence. Good luck to Terrence. Good luck to the running Utes this week to start the season.
Wait,
we
it's
love you.
next week, isn't it?
Well, it's next Monday, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not tomorrow, but it's
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
It's coming
November
up.
3rd.
Me and Charlie won't be there.
It's okay.
Like
It's okay.
next
You're going to
pod.
be in Hawaii and you're going to be enjoying it.
Speaking of Hawaii, 2027 Maui Classic.
Oh,
We're
wow.
gonna be there, baby.
That's a great point. Yeah,
Grid City will be there.
Utah Utes have been invited to the Maui Classic in 2027. Don't get your hopes
I
up.
want to
It's
go so bad.
We're going to go, dude.
We
We're going to
need
go to that. We're going to go to
I
Vegas
say
for
we
the Miami
start
game.
we do personal brokerages right now and save up.
Brokerages.
Wow.
we're getting
Hopefully,
finance.
we're making a good income in 2027 to the point where we can maybe pay for that.
Yeah, and if you're listening this deep into the podcast and you want to sponsor the show, please do.
Yeah, because
Yeah, Haley Yard Care, unfortunately, only sponsors the videos and not the Maui trip. So,
Anyway, that's going to wrap up the Utah Athletics segment, and yeah, we'll see you next week. All right,
do it, baby.
guys, we are jumping into unfortunately the last RSL segment of the Grid City Press podcast for the 2025 season, as we get knocked out by Portland in a 3-1 loss last Wednesday in the wildcard game to go to the MLS Audi playoffs to play San Diego. Unfortunate game. Yeah, obviously we needed a win to get officially into the playoffs, but taking a look at our preseason picks for MVP, Ethan said, who's your MVP pick? Justin Glad. You can say it, dude.
Justin Glad. I'm really high on the Justin Glad train for a while. I do want to. The word "while" is doing a lot of heavy lifting here, because we did have a podcast with Random Fan where I said I was on the no more Glad train. I do want to say I do think he's great, but I think it might be time to move on because our backline really struggled against Portland heavily. That third goal really is just a nail in the coffin, and I think it showed how vulnerable we are in the back line and giving Cabral no help almost.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of Pablo out train, and I think our back line
I've
is.
seen it for years.
I think if we fix our back line and we're still losing, maybe we can hop on that train. But I'm not comfortable yet going back. I predicted Diego Luna to be MVP. Ethan, Justin Glad, Oliver predicted Lachlan Brook, who left the team months
Worst
ago.
take of all time. I think when you see that, you'd be like, wow, he probably knows nothing about the team. I was high off his amazing preseason goal. I don't even know what I was thinking, so I just want to say that. And I also want to say Pablo out train. Pablo's dealt with so many different changes with our team, and for him to even just get us into this playing game,
that's
I'm
a good
grateful.
point.
Yeah, and he obviously, when the season started, we had Forster, Jago, and Ari FPL as our strikers. So seeing Lachlan Brook as the MVP pick with Luna rumors in the air, I don't think it was that crazy, but Lachlan Brook did get shipped back to Australia. And yeah, breakout player predictions. I had Diogo Gonçalves, Ethan had Alex Catranis, and Oliver had Dominic Marksuk, who's not on our team anymore either.
Guys, trust me, my takes next year are going to be a lot better.
But
The team.
It's hard, though, because that was such a long time ago.
I was about to say the
Yeah,
team
that was
is so
February.
Yeah, the team is so volatile after
that's a 50-cent word right there.
so volatile
Ethan likes
after
to throw
a
some
couple
words
games,
in there.
and that's just that. I think that's to me the biggest issue we've had this season because, like you said, Pablo's had to deal with a lot of changes. Our FPO, Forster Jago starting, and I just think him having to deal with all these big changes to defense and especially our midfield and offense is hard for him. But making the playoffs is a good look.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I don't want him to have to it feels good as a fan, and I'm sure as a coach to have those players you can trust as your starting defensive players, you're starting attacking players. You're like, this is who's probably going to start. They're going to get us going. We have our closers, stuff like that. Not, now I have to figure out a Rowan Cruz and Olatunji thing, and you have to figure. I just as a fan, and I'm sure maybe as a coach, it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, but with I think DPs are going to be the biggest important thing over the offseason. But yeah, I think we all collectively can agree that Rafa Cabral earned our MVP vote for the team, even though it hasn't been officially announced, and Xavier Gozo earning the Breakout Player Award. The RSL Corner Breakout Player Award goes to Xavier Gozo.
There's nobody else. I mean,
Congrats, Xavier.
you can't even say Luna because he was playing great last season. So
Yeah, before you move on to anything else, you talk about how we have to rebuild our defensive line. Take me through how that kind of works in the MLS, because obviously in something like the NHL or the NBA, maybe you're just going to go out in free agency. Maybe you're going to if you're bad, hopefully you have a high draft pick, but maybe MLS is in a different kind of situation. So take me through how you do go through a rebuild of something like that.
I just want to mention, I think we would want to build it around someone like Yedlin, who is a great right back. I think our center backs could use a little bit of switching around. I think Katranis is good on attack too, and he's confident.
But do we have to go out for those guys, do you think? Or do you think we have them
We have
in
to go
the...
out. We have to go out.
We need to do one or two things. We need to either buy low on someone from the USL Championship, like Diego Luna, for example, or, I mean, Kobe Henry hasn't turned out to be the center back we want, but Harper, we either have to look into the lower markets of the U.S. or go overseas to find talent, maybe some aging talent. And I think it's okay to have an older center back in the MLS.
It's not a bad thing.
Tim Ream, great center back. Charlotte is, they're moving with flying colors, so they're doing great this season. They made the cup playoffs. To answer your question, Harper, I think we just got to go for either a veteran center back that's overseas and ready to come over to MLS, or we have to buy low and find someone young in the USL or the Championship, or just another MLS team like Junkwa.
Perfectly put.
Great MLS.
How hard is that for a team like Real Salt Lake?
It's hard.
It's hard.
Harder with the small market for sure to get other guys, and it's like hopefully maybe guys can step up over this off season who are younger also to like, because when you start to see like kind of some like younger academy players or guys who are really good and like can start to play for the actual team like Xavier Gozo did, I think we can find a defender like that. That'll also help us out.
I mean, and we were hoping it was that what Charlie said. We were hoping that those players would be people like Kobe Henry when we brought him in. Didn't really know who they were, kind of smaller. And it's hard to bring in someone that's like Tim Ream at center back, who's a vet, and you want that veteran presence holding down your back line, I realistically think.
And we can get rid of a couple things too. Unless if Javane Brown's healthy again, he can be a great backup to Yedlin.
That's true. Javane was injured the whole season.
We didn't see him at all this season. We also have Philip Quinton, who's a versatile player.
I like Quinton.
He can play both. I honestly like Philip Quinton in center back myself. I don't know if maybe it's Glad's time to sit on the bench now, but I don't know if you. I wouldn't mind a switch up between Vera and Glad.
Make Glad fight for his position.
Yeah, it's just hard because, I mean, Cabral took 9 pens, and a lot of those pens were from Vera and Glad. Just silly mistakes back there in the box that lead to conceding. But, going into this Portland game, I'm just going to do a quick recap. Obviously, we lost and we're not going to the playoffs. But, Mora gets a header. Saved by Cabral. Ojeda doesn't track, and Mora scores in the 24th minute. This is Mora's first goal in 23 games. That says something. And then Mora beats 3 guys to a header to find his brace in the 35th minute. RSL goes down 2-0 really early. Luckily, 35th minute, time for RSL to come back, which Glad headers one home from Diogo, crossing it in the 39th minute. And then we're only down 1 going into half. I think at that point, we're just hoping to get to pens because I think we do have an advantage with Cabral in goal. But 82nd minute, Kamal Miller goes unmarked and heads in the dagger to put us down 3-1. And it's just those 3 simple mistakes.
Yeah.
3 guys leaving Mora open for a header. Ojeda not tracking Mora for his first goal, and Kamal Miller just goes unmarked completely for a header. And we couldn't get anything going offensively. We had 2 offside goals.
Well, I think, hold on, I want to harp on this slightly. Like, first of all, it's not a series game like playoffs where you can maybe screw up a couple times, iron out the wrinkles in the next game, and win out. But I think second half we came out, like early in the game, we looked weak. We looked like we could get scored on 5 times in the first 15 minutes, but we heated up more. We had to get more comfortable. We need some time to get comfortable. Our offense started looking good. We were creating chances, and I was confident. I remember watching that Portland game like, yes, we can tie it.
100%.
We can tie it 2 goals. We can win off this. We can take it to overtime. We can win. I felt very confident with our offense, and then the dagger came in, and we had 2 goals called back. The thing is like we really did look like we could do it, but it's small mistakes like the header goal that made us 3-1 is what really holds us back. Defensive mistakes kill the momentum, kill the game. I want to switch up. I don't want to be too like.
No, that's a really good point, and I think that stadium, even over TV, was the loudest stadium I've heard in MLS. Providence Park. That was so loud for an MLS team. It's crazy.
No, Timbers fans, hats off to you. You guys definitely show out each game. You guys are known for having one of the best supporter sections in the league. So obviously that home field advantage is going to come in handy. It's unfortunate we couldn't earn the home field advantage for that wild card game because you never know if something could have gone different. Also, we wouldn't have expected Mora to score 2 goals for the first time in 23 games. But yeah, RSL falls to Portland. And before we wrap this up, I just want to talk about a comparison from this season to last season and 2023. So last 3 seasons. This season we ended up in 9th. Last year we ended up in 3rd, and the year before in 5th place. All with first round or wild card exits. So we haven't gone over that first round hump. So, but there's always next year. We only had 38 goals scored this season compared to last year's 65 and the year before 48. Our lead goal scorers, Luna and Diogo, combined for 13 goals. Chicho and Gomez combined for 30 last year. So we couldn't find the back of the net as often as we wanted to. Obviously, last season does have an asterisk because we just were amazing last year. But, yeah, we end up with 12 wins, 5 draws, and 17 losses. We only lost 7 games last year and 12 games the year before. It's a disappointing season as an RSL fan, as a season ticket holder who loves this club. It's just unfortunate. I know making the playoffs is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel with Pablo extending his playoff streak, I guess. But it doesn't feel as good making the playoffs with 41 points, and our lead scorer scored 9 goals, and second and third had 4.
I'm not trying to be too down on this team. I think there are some positives, but I think the name of the game for me was frustration with small mistakes. Like I already said, that goal that gave us a dagger, the defensive mistake, there's just small little things that can really be changed. And, of course, I don't know, shouldn't set expectations too highly, but just small things. We can really come off with a lot more if there's not that defensive mistake against Timbers and then some against Colorado, I think.
Yeah, and RSL Twitter talked about this a lot. Pablo subbing Olatunji and Gozo when we're down is just crazy. Like Rowan, Cruz, and Willie Agata are not going to make
those subs were not good.
They're not going to create goal opportunities like Olatunji and Gozo. So I think looking to next year, we just need to see if Gozo stays. I think he's already in the right direction of taking that big step and being one of our best players on our team. If Luna stays, great. Obviously, great number 10. One of my favorite players in RSL history already. Luna is just a class act on and off the pitch. But yeah, defensive line, question marks all over. Midfield, question marks, because obviously last year we saw Anelli and Ojeda play 90% of the games, and this year there were just a lot of games with Ruiz, a lot of games with Caliscan.
Anelli was hurt, too.
I love Anelli. I love Anelli.
I love Anelli, too. So lots of question marks going into the next season.
Like you said about Gozo, I think subbing Gozo was stupid mistake. Stupid. He was getting our attack.
He's 18.
Hyped up.
He's got the legs.
Yeah, he still had the fire in him. He was still flashy looking. I think subbing him was just caught, bro.
Yeah, and it just gets me so excited. We get new home uniforms this year. I'm always so excited every single time. So I can't wait to see what the offseason brings, and I can't wait to talk about it on here.
Yeah, that's true. For Grit City Press, RSL content will probably likely be close to 0 for the next month or 2, just because we're going to be covering every other sport, and a lot of transfer news won't really come up until the playoffs are over.
Yep. You guys talked about, though, like what you need to see improve, but like how often do like people get signed in the offseason, and like what do you see this club doing? Like, are they really going to go out and fix the defense? Are they really going to go out and fix the midfield? And if they do fix this, like where do you see RSL next year, as in terms of like record, or maybe even making the playoffs? Like, is this team trending up, or is it trending down? Like, what do you think?
I want to say my MLS knowledge on this is kind of limited. I will say someone like San Jose, they had a horrible season. They went out and signed a couple players, even though they didn't make the playoffs. They
went up 3 spots.
They still made some, I'd say, key signings for them. We're still pretty
important.
important.
They didn't even show up.
And they didn't, but still, even for someone like San Jose, they made changes, and that's good to see as a fan. Sure, maybe they're not the best, but I want to say a lot of teams, Harper, will be making changes in situations like this, and I think someone like RSL should.
And our changes are going to depend on if Luna or other people are leaving. Yeah. So that's going to be really important.
Because there could be a lot going out.
If those guys leave, we get money, and you just hope we can turn it around in players like Gomez or Chicho.
We'll get so much for Luna.
As controversial as Chicho was a crucial part of our team last year, even going scoreless for the latter half of the season. But, I think Luna, my predictions, I think he stays. I think Ethan and I had a conversation. I think he needs to better his stock for the World Cup and then go from there. But, lots of question marks. I think it's hard to see what we'll do in the offseason. But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how things turn out. Congrats to the Timbers making it to the playoffs. And, it should be exciting to watch these MLS playoffs. Hoping Inter Miami doesn't win the championship. But,
I don't have anybody to look at the team and say that they did poorly inherently like it's their fault. I don't have anybody to say it's their fault this season. So I still am pretty happy, but just a little couple things just frustrate you.
Yeah, I think those new signings really just sparked RSL a little bit. And
Yeah,
I'm excited for them to see him next year.
Yeah, we saw what Olatunji did, and he was only signed a few months ago, and he already brought a lot of firepower to this team. So
That's true.
I think it's just all in the front office, all in the scouts to see what comes next for RSL Lake. Like Oliver said, New Jersey's next year. Seems like RSL always loves to do something fun in the off season,
Yeah,
whether that
they
be
do.
bettering the stadium,
Great
obviously.
branding and marketing all the time.
I hope that that's not our.
Yeah, at least there's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I hope that that's not the only thing we look forward to is nice jerseys. That kind of does.
No, you're right. You're
it-
right,
it
Ethan. We
does,
don't want to get too high. on the
It would
jerseys.
hurt to be like, oh my God, our jerseys are so nice just every season, and that's all we look at.
I'd rather lose in good-looking jerseys than ugly ones,
Hey,
though.
that's fair. That is a great point.
Utah Sports has
But
got some good jerseys now.
Olatunji,
More
did great.
highlighters.
Had a brace in the game to get
Thank
us
God.
into the wild card, and I'm excited to see him next year because he did have a good finishing style.
Oh, yeah.
Aesthetically, look pretty pleasing, and so
Keeping Olatunji and making him like a core
I
building
agree.
block of next year's team is going to be huge. He joined midway through the season, didn't know much about Salt Lake, didn't know much about anything coming in. So, I think it's important to see how we leverage him next season. And, yeah, I think that anything else for RSL?
I think that's it. I'm excited for next season.
Yeah, so we
I
got a
just
lot.
can't wait to be back where the riot hymns begin. So
Oh, yeah. The battle hymns begin.
sorry.
Everyone's in the riot. Anyway.
The riot.
Yeah, I mean, I also just want to thank Charlie for these amazing graphics, Ethan for the amazing editing. Guys, if you haven't checked out the website yet, Harper does an amazing job of putting it all on there. And shout out to all the writers out there, Harper, Ethan, Charlie. I want to get writing in the off season. Right now, work with school's too much. But shout out to Bryson, Luke, Dave. You guys have been killing it over there. And I just keep
Yeah, we
watch
love
out
you
for
guys.
those
Thank you
articles.
so much.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can maybe get Luke on the podcast next week. We're still trying. So
Yeah. Anyway, keep an eye out, gridcitypress.com to find our articles and podcasts. Check out Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Twitter. We're all on there. But, yeah, thanks for listening.
I just want to say I think our articles are like so awesome. I think us doing articles is so cool. So
Yeah.
thank you to all the
Seriously, go
writers.
check 'em
It's
out.
great.
Yep. Anyway,
See you next week.
big week of Utah
Thank you,
Sports, and we'll
guys.
see you next week.
Good job, boys.